Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. Today we are going to discuss a topic from the subject packaging and labeling, and the topic is new concepts in pharmaceutical packaging. So let's start. As per the definition of packaging, packaging is the science, art and technology of enclosing or protecting products for distribution, storage, sale and use. Packaging also refers to the process of design, evaluation and production of packages. Packaging may also be defined as the collection of different components, for example, bottles, vials, closures, cap, ampule, blisters, which actually surrounds the pharmaceutical product from the time of production until it is used. So you can understand that the packaging is basically the distribution, storage, sale and use of the products once it is manufactured. We package the product once it is being manufactured. Now, this was about the packaging. Next is about the labeling. What is label? Packaging label is any written, electronic or graphic communication on the packaging or on a separate but associated label. So it is a bridge connecting the production with the marketing. It is an economical means of providing protection, presentation and identification information for a pharmaceutical product. So whatever material has been packed out with the different kinds of the packaging, it needs to be labeled very well. It has to be labeled as per the regulatory requirements, as per the other different types of the packaging requirements. So packaging is a system or a means by which the product will reach from the production center to the consumer in a safe and sound condition and with minimum overall loss. So the intention of having a good packaging is to get the product delivered to the consumer in a state in which it was being produced at the center. It should be very well labeled, it should be very well packed, and the packing should be retained till it reaches to the end consumer. A package or a market product refers to the container closure system and labeling associated components and external packaging. Now, what are the different functions of packaging? There are various functions of the packaging. For example, the presentation. By the presentation, the product after being packed should be presentable. It should be eye catchy. It should be attractive so that the end user finds it appealing enough to use the product. Then the packaging also at the same time provides the preservation. It provides the enhanced shelf life. It increases the stability of the product, and also it should be an ideal packaging should provide a good protection to the packaging till it reaches to the consumer, because from the production to the consumer and it goes through various phases. It goes through various hindrances from the transportation and shipping. So all the types of the hindrances should not affect the product, and it should be very well protected till it reaches to the end consumer. Then another point which needs to be considered is that the packaging selected should be economically feasible, and at the same time it should be convenient for the end user to use. So again, selection of the packaging depends on n number of the packaging, and so these are the functions of the packaging. Some other functions of the packaging are like the packaging should be able to contain the product. The product should remain in the same condition. It should provide the adequate protection and safety to the packing. Then second, if we have the unique kind of the packaging, we can segregate the different kinds of the product. So it helps us in identification of the different products. At the same time, the packaging should be suitable enough for the different kinds of the different dosage forms, and it should be very well labeled and handled carefully. It requires a sensitive handling so that it reaches to the consumer in the same form. Now, the factors which influences the selection of packagings are various. For example, the consumer behavior. To what type of the consumer we are targeting our product, or on the social and cultural background of the consumer. It also depends on the economic feasibility. It also depends on the type of the people we are targeting, which segment of the people we are targeting the our final product. It also depends on the technology which is being utilized for the packing purpose, or the legal issues with the regulatory requirements of different countries. The packaging also depends, the labeling requirements are different for different countries. It also depends on the types of the manufacturing facilities available, and also on the different kinds of the distribution channels by which the different segments of the people will be targeted. Moreover, one of the factors which also plays a critical role in the selection of the appropriate packaging is the competition existing into the market. There are various novel packaging technologies. The very first packaging technology is the anti-counterfeit technology. What is counterfeit? The counterfeit means tampering to the product. So we have to develop a packaging system in which the product is able to withstand that counterfeit technology, and that is the anti-counterfeiting technologies. The purpose of an anti-counterfeit feature is primarily to enable the authentication of the healthcare products. The second function may be to act as a deterrent or to anyone considering counterfeiting a product based on the difficulty or cost involved, set against the likelihood of detection and therefore prosecution. It is true that the security devices on the packaging components provides no assurance as to the authenticity of the contents, which may be substituted or adulterated. So the anti-counterfeiting technology is very important. So we can understand the primary purpose of the anti-counterfeiting technology is to enable the authentication of the product. If the product is tampered, we should know it should not be tampered, and it should be able to deterrent to anyone considering counterfeiting a product. So no one should be the product should not be at the risk, and one should be ensured that the product should not be counterfeited. Now, the different anti-counterfeit technologies can be divided into two categories. First is the overt features, also known as the visible features. So, as the name suggests, overt features are intended to enable end users to verify the authenticity of a pack. Such features will be normally prominently visible and difficult for or expensive to reproduce. So these refer to such kind of the features whereby if an end consumer had opened the product, it is quite visible. The if the packing is being tampered, it is quite visible. So it is for targeting the consumers or end users. Another type of the technology is the covert features. The purpose of a covert feature is to enable the brand owner to identify the counterfeited technologies. The general public will not be aware of its presence nor have the means to verify it. So what does this mean? Such kind of the features are going to target the company owners, brand owners, so that they receive the authentic products at their end. So if the product has been tampered enough, they can test in their laboratories. These are the expensive high-end technologies for determining such kind of the effects. If any sort of the tampering will be required to be tested in their laboratories. So overt features are targeting for the layman people and consumers, and covert feature is targeting the brand owners when they receive the high end the product, so that they can test before utilizing the same product into their manufacturing. Again, the over technologies, also known as the visible technologies, are of different types. Most of you have seen these type of the technologies, and they vary slightly different among each other. For example, the holograms. Another one is the optically variable devices. Third is the color shifting security inks and films. Then sequential product numbering. Then security graphics or on product markings. So these are the devices which are being uh, pasted like, or being utilized on the packaging components. So when they are being tampered, you cannot reproduce that packing, that sort of the device, and which will result in the clear visible identification that the product has been tampered and it has been counterfeited. For example, holograms. What are holograms? Are transparent stickers, and they are very thin, aesthetically applied to the product. So once they are being tampered enough, you can clearly visualize that the product has been counterfeited. So they are very simple technologies, they're not as much complex, don't need any laboratory testing. They are simple, visibly embarked technologies which are being utilized on the packaging part these days. For example, holograms. For security, anti counterfeiting, promotion, and brand protection, holograms cannot be counterfeited. Holograms have emerged and taken up an important position in the market of protective as well as the promotional technologies. Another slight variant of the hologram is the optically variable devices. They include a wide range of alternative devices similar to holograms, but often they without any 3D component. Generally, they involve image flips or transitions, often including color transformations or monochromatic contrast. So what are these optical variable devices? They are very simple devices having 2 to 3 layers. The first layer is the transparent film. Second is the backing reflective layer. The transparent film carries the image, and this image is aesthetically bound to the packaging part. The third layer is the aesthetic bounding of these two layers to the packing part. So if they are being tempered enough, you can just simply visualize it. Third are the color shifting security inks and films. So these are the specialized inks, specialized pigments which are finely grounded metallic laminates which when needed to be laid down in a thick opaque film to achieve the optical effect and therefore are better suited. So you can say they are the slight variations of each other. These technologies are widely used, widely acceptable into the market and widely utilized into the pharmaceutical sector, and they're slightly different from each other. Then security graphics, as the name suggests, these are the fine lines color printing incorporating a range of overt and covert design elements such as line modulation and line emboss. They may be used as a background in a discrete zone such as overprint area or complete back graphics, or can be printed by normal offset lithography or for increased security by the intaglio reprinting. Another feature is the sequential product numbering. What is the sequential product numbering? It simply says you are numbering the product, you are tracking the product in such a way. If printed visibly, it provides a semi-overt means of authentication by reference to a secure database, because duplicates or invalid numbers will be rejected. So again, you can find that the technology, you can just visualize it by inverting the image and connecting it to a database so that it can be authenticated. Then on product markings. On product marking technologies allow for special images or codes to be placed on conventional oral dosage forms. These overt technologies can be difficult to replicate and offer a security technology at the higher levels. Now, next we move on to the covert technology. Covert technology, which are targeted to the companies, they need to be authenticated in special labs. They utilize the high-end technologies. For example, invisible printing, digital watermarks, embedded image, anti-scan or anti-scan design, laser codings, hidden marks and printings, and even orders. Yes, even orders. So let us first discuss the covert features of invisible printing. As the name indicates, you hereby utilizing special inks which are invisible and can be printed on almost any substrate, which can only appear under certain conditions such as UV or IR illumination. Similarly are the embedded images. These images are embedded on the back graphics. Digital watermarks. They are also invisible watermarks which are digitally encoded with graphic elements and verified by means of a reader and spatial softwares. And others are like hidden marks and printing. Spatial marks and print may be applied in such a way that escapes attention and is not easy to copy, so that you cannot reproduce it. The idea is not to reproduce it, so that they are the hidden one and can only be tested and authenticated through the high-end technology labs. Other techniques may be laser coding. The application of batch variable details by laser coding requires special and expensive equipment and results in recognizable artifacts, which may be difficult to simulate. Then substrate. There are many ways of incorporating covert markers with a substrate, such as visible or UV fluorescence fibers or chemical reagents in a carton board or paper. Watermarks can be embedded in a leaflet paper or metallic threads interwoven in the base material, possibly including an overt OVD features. Another may be the anti-copy or anti-scan design, and orders. How orders can be? They are micro encapsulated distinctive orders which can be applied as an adhesive to an ink coating to provide a novel covert or semi-overt feature. So you can yourself analyze the advanced technologies which are sometimes used for packaging portion, and they are the latest technologies which are being utilized in the pharmaceutical sectors and even other sectors to have the anti-counterfeiting technology. Next, we move on to the forensic markers. First, we discussed about the anti-counterfeit technologies. Next, we move on to the forensic marker. As the name suggests, forensic markers, they are categorized into five categories. First is the chemical tagans. Chemical tagans comprises of the trace chemicals which can only be detected by high specific reagent system. So again, it is a high-end technology referred as a chemical tagans. You are tagging the substrate with the chemical high trace elements which can be detected by the various advanced technologies. Then biological tagans. As the name indicates, a biological marker can be incorporated at an extremely low levels in product formulations or coatings or invisibly applied to the packaging components. Third is the DNA tagans. Highly specific DNA lock and key reagent systems can be applied to packaging by a variety of printing methods. They require a mirror image, recombinant strand to effect the pairing, and this reaction is detectable by a dedicated device. So you can understand that kind of the technology they have been afflicted, like chemical, biological, DNA taggants. Then next is the isotope ratios. Naturally occurring isotopes can also be utilized in having the highly characteristics of the source of a compound and accurately determined by laser fluorescence or magnetic resonance techniques. These can provide a fingerprint of one or more of the product constituent. So by utilizing this technology also you can understand and authenticate your product. Then microtagants. Microtagants are basically microscopic particles containing coded information to uniquely identify each variant by examination under a microscope. This may take the form of alphanumeric data depicted on small flakes or threads or of fragments of multicolored, multi-layered laminates with a signature color combination. Now, next we move after forensic marker. We move to the third category, that is about the serialization, also known as the track and trace technologies. A number of track and trace applications are under development for the pharmaceutical sectors. These involve assigning a unique identity to each stock unit during manufacture, which then remains with it throughout the supply chain until its consumption. So it's a very simple track and trace technologies. You are tracking down while they're being manufactured. You are providing them a unique number, unique code, maybe in sequentially order, maybe non-sequential order, and this code remains with the product until it is consumed. So you can at any time point back relate and decipher the code. So the example of track and trace technology is the serialization, radio frequency identity tagging, also known as RFID. Third is the unique surface marking or topography. Serialization, as the name indicates, it involves assigning a unique identity to each stock unit during manufacture, which then remains with it through the supply chain until it's consumed. So it may be sequential, it may not be sequential. Now these serialization utilize a highly secure algorithm or method of encryption. Second is the RFID tag. It comprises of an antenna with a microchip at its center. This contains item specific and batch information which can be interrogated at a distance and without requiring line of sight. You must have seen RFID tags at the entry gates of many organizations. So they are basically without touching, you are just giving the information, and that RFID boom barriers are being opened up. So this is again a track and trace high-end technologies. The main advantage of RFID is that it has the potential to be fully automated in warehouses and even through the pharmacies without requiring manual intervention. So by just giving the RFID tagging, you are able to enter the lab, you are able to enter the premises without touching, and it's a fully automated process. Third is the unique surface marking or topography. As the name suggests, there are several methods for applying a pseudo-random image to each item in a batch, such as pattern of lines or dots in one area of the carton, and then scanning the signature into the batch database via secure algorithms for later authentication. This pack surface provides a unique fingerprint, which is very unique when scanned by a dedicated laser device, which enables each pack to be registered into the database at batch manufacture, and which is impossible to replicate or falsify. So you can see assigning a special type of the pack surface to the product, which is acting as a fingerprint, which can then be authenticated with the database. Fourth technology which is being utilized is the closed file technology. Now next two technologies are based on like packing of the product. The packing is formed when the product is being manufactured. So manufacturing and packaging goes side by side. Like the closed vial technologies, you are just simply putting the vial. It is a closed vial, and a product is manufactured at the same time, it is being entered at the same time, and the whole process is in a class 100 environment, very clean environment, leading to no contamination. So once the closed vial is then the closed vials are sterilized in a gamma irradiation unit to secure the absence of vial contamination, eliminating various processes like the vial washing and dehydrogenation step in the filling line. So it is basically a more aseptic process of working, and it is a very sterile process whereby you just put down the container, enter the add the for your formulation and pack it by gamma irradiation immediately. The body of the closed plastic vial is made up of the cycloolefin copolymer (COC), a plastic material that can be molded into shapes that are not feasible with the glass. So, if you're taking the glass, or if you're not taking the glass, even these are the high-end technologies whereby the chances of contamination are very much reduced. These are the high technology being employed for the packing of various what do you call, your aseptic processing, and for your infusions, vials, etc., injectables. Then again, the closed vial technology using the freeze drying concept. The vial actually remains closed most of the time, especially between the filling station and the freezer dryer shelf. The opening and closing of the vial is generated by rearranging the movements of the freeze dryer shelves. So again, it provides a high level of optical sterility assurance, and when the cycle is finished, the vial closes again before the freeze dryer drawer is opened, and stays closed until the vial is resealed. So you can see the whole process is automated, and with the freeze drying technology you can have your aseptic process manufacturing done for your injectables, etc., ophthalmic products. Last one is the blow fill seal technology, very widely used into the industry for the aseptic products. The processing is very simple. Here it is utilizing large number of polymers, whereby the packing is being produced simultaneously when the manufacturing is taking place, and packing is and immediately when your formulation enters the product, and it is being sealed simultaneously. Those three steps are involved. First is the container molding. The polymers get transferred into the container molding, then these containers are filled out and they are sealed at the same time. So chances of contamination are very much reduced. It's a high end process. It's a high end lines which are being widely utilized worldwide for the packaging of ophthalmics and your sterile products. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Also provide your views in the comment box. Thank you so much.